Hey, Happy New Year. I want to first start. Anybody there yet? I was just looking at my little cartoon I made with the four kings and the Joker that I found. Four Egyptian kings, Forrest, Fenn, the Joker. But where'd my book go? I don't know where my book went. Anything different? I think my book is just right back here behind the other book. No, it isn't. There it is. Okay. In the beginning of the book, it's the thrill of the chase, right? What's the chase? It's a game. Because one of the first things he mentions is a game, poker. You're playing a game. You're trying to get the winning hand. The winning hand is collect all the bananas you can. Bananas are the playing cards. Bananas are the archaeology. and he who gets the most bananas wins. So we're all playing a game for the treasure, and ain't gonna. It's not over yet. It's not over until Forrest is finished roaming the earth. But he's not really roaming the earth. That's why he started the chase, partly so he can watch us roam the earth. Who knows if he expected it to last this, uh, this long? When you're up in when you get over 60, you start wondering when you're gonna how much time you got left, and so. Yeah, he's just saying right there, right at the beginning of the book, when he's talking about life's a game of poker, happiness is a pot, fate deals you four cards and a joker, and you play whether you like it or not. It's a game. It's a game. And you're out there collecting the cards or the archaeology. They're the bananas, and says he lives vicariously through the searchers. Yeah. Has anybody said anything about the? No, nobody said anything about that. But here's my wood thing that I finished, and like I said, the burnt stuff did come off. It's not showing good on that camera. This is a focus distance, but because I couldn't cut those little letters out as clean as they came. If it didn't do a good job, if it was, because it's real detail. Those are small letters that laser cut out, you know. And it did really good on the fish and speckles on the fish, and yeah. So this was my laser cutter. I just want to say that it's you think it's a game? It's a game. If it's a game, it's a contest. Nobody's going to stumble upon it. They're going to have to work hard for it. and the confident person will go straight to it. Okay, because the confident person it knows what they found and will be rewarded with the chest and given the instructions on where to go pick it up. And when you get there, I think the chest is going to be in the trunk of the. I think it's a 35 Plymouth. He was talking about a 35 Plymouth, and I don't know if there's a 41 Plymouth or what, but the Plymouth. It'll be in the trunk of the Plymouth at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And after Forrest dies, the executors will get a hold of the winner of this contest, notify him to go to the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, where the press will be waiting and everything. Hey, Bruce, and collect the prize there. See, I did my mustache a little different. Just for fun. I usually cut it off right there, but I gotta have it come down a little bit. I didn't need big old hanging fur balls on it. I found Skippy's card. Maybe it's a. I didn't just find Skippy's car. I found a lot more. I found Anubis and I found Thoth. And Forrest says he's the most spiritual person on the planet. Well, you would be the most spiritual person on the planet if you thought you were Thoth. If you thought you were Thoth reincarnated, come back. He's been ruling the earth for thousands of years. Thoth is known as the architect of the universe. Forrest said, I felt like an architect. It's a clue. He's got them Egyptian figure. He has an Egyptian Thoth out of an Egyptian tomb. Don't know if it's King Tut's or not, but it came from an Egyptian tomb, a Thoth doll or whatever figures, what, foot tall or something. And Thoth, there's a book, Thoth, Architect of the Universe. Okay, Forrest Fenn, he said, I'm not religious, but I'm the most spiritual person on the planet. Does anyone know a date Skippy passed in 78? I don't know exactly. But that winter solstice was an important time for Forrest because he like the sun and all was resurrected 2-3 days later and rose again up into a big jolly and flew away. Oh, that's what the hell happened? Inside that, took a book out, Thoth, and some of my brother's things. I show it next time. Yeah. See, if you knew about Thoth, and I think his Thoth's tablets were recently found in the last couple of years and deciphered, and it's amazing stuff. And he talks. It's like Star Wars, the light and the dark, But basically, nothing would exist unless there was both light and dark. It's the conflict between light and dark that creates the material world. It's the conflict between the two and none of your particles in your body touch each other. They're all just orbiting electrons around things, and the atoms don't touch each other. The one electron will buzz through, pass through another atom and stuff, and that's how they're interlinked. But it's all electromagnetic. We're all electric energy. We're just energy and light. As the dark side rises, so shall the light to meet it. Yeah, and the dark can't conquer the light. The light, you turn on the light, well, the darkness goes away. So, and he says to bring a flashlight with you. Well, your flashlight is inside. It's inside. It's in your heart or in your gut or whatever, And if anybody's into that, the meditation and the cool, stuff, follow my buddy Man of Letters. He has a YouTube channel, Man of Letters, and he talks about Thoth and Hermes and things. The newer religions wanted to, they kind of took all that ancient stuff and flushed it down the toilet but adapted much of it, a good portion of it, into their own religion, gave things different names and resurrected past gods and things like that, like Horus, and it's all over and over, Or they had a father. Well, if he died, then how come there's a replace? You know, well, they come back. It's like they're like Buddha or like the Dalai Lama. This boy here, he's the Dalai Lama. He's reincarnated. They don't know that, but they made that boy believe that he was, and he became who he is. I had out of body experiences, and they're pretty scary. The scary thing about it, you don't know if you're going to come back. You know, and I'm not done yet. I'm not ready to leave for good. Kind of weird floating outside your body and stuff. I like my little elephant. We got another one here. We gave Forrest one too. Told him he could put it on his fishing hat. It's not an elephant. It's a mammoth. It has a small ear, a little tiny ear, like people. The mammoth just has a little ear. It doesn't. It's smaller ear than the India elephant. And somebody told me on Billy Forrester's page, don't. Oh, can't prevent a lie, did you? You didn't look. You didn't look ready to leave the night. You got locked out. No, I wasn't ready to go. No, and the thing was, I knew quickly that my last resort, if I don't find something quick, that I got to break the window. And that's what it came down to, the window or my life. And yeah, the window wasn't too important. It's kind of glued onto the door and stuff, and you got to cut out and that's very difficult to do when it's 11 degrees right now. 12:40 in the afternoon, 11 degrees outside. And I turned my heater off at 10, and it's 60 inside. So that's the sun keeps it warm in here. If you let sun come through the window, and like my dash, I got my dash dark, so the sunlight hits that dark material and warms it up, and it's like having a solar heater. Yeah, I see that, Bill. How did you know? How did you know, Bill? I'll show you something. Bill just sent me a picture or something. I gotta show him. Yeah, I gotta show him what. It's funny. Is that the book, Bill, or the cards? Yeah, those are tarot cards there. Bill sent me a picture of the tarot cards he has. And the funny thing, I said, that's funny, but it's really funny because just before I started my stream, I ordered a deck of them. Oh, because, I just want to, I ordered the tarot cards because of the stuff I found. I can make a really neat set of tarot cards printed up with these formations and things, and the ancient Atlantean Thoth god with Thoth on it and all that. Yeah, and there's a box, a wood box. You can get a wood box that holds the cards, and it's just blank everywhere. And it was perfect, So I get the cards in the box, but the box I can use my laser engraver and engrave it, engrave the box. So I'll put some patterns and shapes on it. It might be kind of hard. Yeah, because the box I think is a little bigger than the engraver, so I'd have to do it in two pieces or something, and getting things to line up. But I can do it where things don't, are just next to each other, not touching, and because that laser engraver's very accurate to the millimeter. Like, I know some of you maybe ain't seen this. I made that. It's got the eye on it. Was a felt bag, I think. Yeah, who knows what's in there? Yeah, I can, do the wood engraving onto the box. And I thought if that comes out good, I might order more boxes and do some Forrest Fenn stuff on the wood boxes that you could, have some. I could have wood boxes with Forrest Fenn stuff engraved on them. That's a lot of work to cover, because you got to do the laser engrave. You move it, do the other one, and then maybe do them along the sides, and it takes quite a while to engrave them. So if I put a lot of work into it, I don't expect to. I'm not Chinese labor. Well, yeah, it's gone, huh? Happy New Year. Yeah, I got my, where is it? Out in the RV world and stuff, the electric's so much easier than the water, because you don't get a lot of water pressure in an RV to rinse the whiskers out of the razor and stuff. And I just settled with the, yeah, it had that, and so I just trimmed it off how I wanted. So I think I leave my mustache like that. I like it like that. Any question to see? Did some engraving on California. See, get a laser engraver. Just cut California off. It'll fall on the ocean. That's ridiculous. A story about California falling in the ocean. Over millions of years, the Baja California, Gulf of California will split right on up and across the east side of LA, and the line comes out into the ocean about so that stuff, just west of San Francisco, east of LA line, that might become an island, but it ain't gonna sink in the ocean. Yep, Bill's got one of my Fanatic cups. The trout swimming across it. The thing is, Forrest Fenn deals you 4 cards and a joker, and you play whether you like it or not. And he's got a game. He started a game. He started a game of poker, basically. Let's see your hand. I'm showing my hand is I got 4 kings and a queen that I made a joker just to have the joker in there. Otherwise, I would have had 4 kings and a queen, or I actually got an ace. Yeah, I got an ace in the hole too, because my grandson's an ace. Forrest was an ace too, right? But I think in the book he intended that he's the Joker. He's the Joker. He's playing a game. A lot of people have known he's playing a game, but they're looking for that box out there, and they don't know that the game is to find the archaeology. The game's to be that Indiana Jones. Even if I went to see Terry Scan, I don't have it on my computer, but I think he made an Indiana Jones comment in there. And I'll look up Indiana Jones. Sometimes you put in the word and it doesn't find it, and you there must be a few Indiana Jones types out there like me, ready to throw a bedroll in the pickup and start searching. They're Buffalo Sundance skulls. Buffalo Sundance skulls. That they were used in the Plains Indian ceremonies. It had been such a fun building my collection over the decades. So much fun building my collection. Why not let others come searching for some of it while I'm still here? While I'm still here. He's trying to get people to search for it while he's still here. While he's still alive. Okay, when he dies, the chase ends. The chase is over when he passes away. He's going to have to put more security up now, I guess, because there's some idiots out there, apparently, you know. Some have already been arrested and things, but, you know, ending the chase that way ain't going to win you the prize. It's doing what I've done. Find all this archaeology. The trove is the archaeology out there. Why does he say trove in the poem and not treasure about that? Seek my trove. Yeah, it's Mr. Fenn is not gonna die. A dude's like a cat. He's probably got 6 lives left. Yeah, yep, yeah. He. Some of us are indestructible. And I know, you know, after being locked out there, just 10, 15 minutes with it 3 degrees outside, those are the temperatures that Randy Bilyeu was dealing with. Those are the temperatures he was dealing with. He came from Florida. He had no idea that the mini ice age is coming down on him, and he didn't. He wasn't prepared to keep warm. He was prepared to get in the water with his waders ridiculously. When it's that cold, you don't want to touch the water. You want to stay as dry and as warm as you can, you know. Even your feet, if your feet get sweaty and out in the cold, they'll freeze fast because they got sweaty, you know. But he has a few times. If you look up Indiana Jones, you're going to find these comments. 9/16/13. It had been such fun building my collection over the decades. Why not? I think that's the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, it's even from the same day. Gaddy Schwartz asked him, now just north of 81 years old, Fenn, who says there's an Indiana Jones in all of us is collecting something new. See, they're confused about the Indiana Jones thing, because the thing is to find the mammoth temples, the Indiana Jones and the temples of the mammoth. Find that Anubis and Thoth and Enki. Find these ancient gods of Egypt in Colorado. That's something big, 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 big. Because there's Egyptian stuff in the Grand Canyon. Well, show it to me. I can show you the Egyptian stuff in Colorado. You know? Forrest knows what that means. Yeah, I'm ringing a bell, huh? Now I don't have to ring the bell to be ringing a bell. Ringing a bell is to announce it. What you found. My God, is that Bill? Yeah, it's me. Nope, not me. A couple of people recently disappeared around Long's Peak, unrelated to the chase, but it goes to show you have to be prepared. Yeah, hey, Marty. Clean and cut person. Yeah, get rid of the beard. You want to see my beard? It's my beard. You dinar. Yeah, I'm not looking for no dinars. Yep. And yeah, let's see. He's got the hard ballers. Yeah. There are people expecting to find the physical treasure there, but it's his trove you seek. You ask him, what is the trove? And then the word will is in the poem twice. It's hidden. And what are the hidden? What's the hidden word in the poem? Will. He's hidden his will in the poem. When he says there'll be no paddle up your creek. That's their will. So you gotta wait for his will, and that's when the chase ends. At the end of his rainbow. The end of his rainbow is the end of his life. He did this. He can't get out there and explore, so he created this competition contest to see what's out there from other the people of the United States, or what, whoever goes, people of Australia come up here and look for it. One thing, if you're coming here from another country and you find it, you're going to have trouble getting it back to your country. Yeah, because TSA would snag that up. Unless you got a sailboat. You'd have to get the chest, get a sailboat, and sail back to Australia to get it out of here. And then Australia would go, what the hell's that? But usually when you ride by sailboat like that, there's no big inspection of what you brought back. There are people travel the world in their sailboats, and I don't see them getting searched for everything in their boat. And if you're in a sailboat traveling the world, you need a weapon for pirates and things that might come. I tell people, well, if you're not allowed to have guns, bring fireworks, rockets and mortars and stuff, and you can fire them at an approaching boat and catch them on fire or blow up their engine, whatever, by shooting fireworks at them. So if I had a sailboat, at the top of the mast, I'd have like a machine gun up there with a little camera, webcam down the sight, and a 360 camera, and I'd be down in the cockpit on my computer seeing what's going on and rotating that gun around to shoot at the terrorist, trying to take your boat. That'd be a great thing for a sailboat. A little remote operated machine gun on the top. I wonder if I can, because I need, my throat's real dry. Ah. It's constant tickling at the right at the top of my throat. You want to cough it out. It doesn't go anywhere. Thank heavens you can't Zoom. Yeah. Why? What's wrong with Zoom? Only special people can steal. I have this. I can show this closer by zooming. I can zoom. See? So you can see how that came out. A little laser engraver. See, and I was right. Those small letters were like burnt, but you just I used a knife and kind of scraped the burnt layer off the top of them. So, yeah, and then I had my where to go? Oh, can't get to it. I hate phones and all the. It's like anywhere you touch it, there's a frickin' button, you know. There you go. See, I got 4 kings. Enki, Thoth, Moses. Why you want to focus? There we go. Moses, Anubis, the Clovis Queen. You see, there's Forrest Fenn in there. He's the Joker. So I got 4 cards and a Joker. Okay. So it's a, it's a card game. It's a game. I told him, Forrest Fenn, is that you riding a dodo bird? Fly fishing? Fly fishing. Yeah, he was fishing for that fish in the well of the Tree of Life there. There's Moses parting the Rocky Mountains, and that's Anubis. Oh, what the heck? No. I hate Messenger on my phone, especially when I'm trying to stream. Let me go back. Switch back around. Yeah, I gotta go into town and get a tank of propane because what's in that won't last. When it's cold like this, when it stays below freezing for a week, you use 2-3 times as much propane. It's not easy keeping an RV warm because it's just it doesn't have the insulation of a house and things. And you don't. I can stay warm in bed if the heat goes out, but you don't want the heat going out because it's, you get up and it's 25 degrees inside the RV. So I leave the heater going while I'm sleeping. It scares me a little, but I have to. It's really further away from me when I'm sleeping, because if it's very cold, you just put the heater closer to you. And I can stay like 70 degrees and the rest of the room is 60 or 55 or something. But I feel good and warm because it's like sitting next to a fire, I need to go in. I was going to go in and get a haircut today, too, if I get a chance. And then people will think I'm some... Hey, Sean. Yeah. I shaved. They said I would after Christmas. I did. I had the beard for my grandkids for Christmas, so I could play Santa Claus. Yeah. What do you think, Sean? You think it's a game, a card game? We're the searcher with the best hand wins. Yeah, yeah, I'd probably do it another Christmas. I don't know. The kids are getting it. Well, the little ones are they'll still be little for several more years. But like the 6-year-old is growing up fast. Yeah, it's who can connect with thought. See, my numerology, my birth date will make 331s. Yeah, and it's 331. Thoth, and you watch stuff on Thoth. Thoth's number is 31. I mean, this is the guy they make the tarot cards about, The tarot cards came from Thoth. Yeah, see, that 31's important. You just don't have enough 31s. I got 3 of them. Because the 3, 31, 58, you got the 31. Boom, that's clear. The 58, 5 plus 8 is 13. Boom, that's a 31. And then you got the 3 and the 19 left over, and 1 plus 9 is 10, plus the 3 is a 13. That's another 31. So I can turn my birth date into 3 31s, and that's Thoth's number. So, and actually 330 was the beginning of the year. Yeah, the new year used to begin at the spring equinox. That's why my birthday falls on Easter. Occasionally, it will again in 2024. So another 5 years, my birthday will be on Easter again. And it had been every 11 years my birthday was on Easter. So 2013 it was, 2002 it was, and 91 it was. In 91, I remember what I did on my birthday in 91. I went skiing at what was this? Oh, I can't remember the name of the ski area now. It's right next to Mount Rainier. I went skiing there. That's a strange, and that's where I was doing a giant slalom run. They had a thing where you go through the gates and be timed, and I was like, ski come off. But I had the ski come off one time, and the binding edge of the ski hit me right below the hip socket, and right my and separated the muscle, and my whole ass was just bright purple, yellow. Had a nasty bruise, and that muscle's still weird there because it got basically severed. But it didn't cut my skin, but it was a bad injury. I love Rainier and Packwood. What's the name? No, it's not Packwood. It was, it's a little ski area on the backside of Mount Rainier. You come in from Emu Claw and stuff and go down there. I remember I went up on the top and I took a picture of Mount Rainier, because the ski area is like on this mountain, and you look, when you're up on the top, you can look down this cliff, and it goes down in this valley, and then there's that big Mount Rainier right across, and you see how huge Mount Rainier is then. I used to ski on 208 skis. Most people ski with 185 centimeter ski, and I was using giant slalom 208s, and we went out it was at 96, went skiing with the KSGO radio station in San Jose. We went up to Kirkwood, and the one DJ, he said, "Let me try your skis. Yeah, I'd like to try those out." And we were at the top of this like black slope, diamond Black Diamond Slope. And he wanted to try out my 208s and swap me. I tried out his 185s, and I'm like, cruising nice and down the hill. And he said, and when I got down to the bottom and met up with him, you can have these back, man. Those things will kill me because they're so, the length makes you go faster. And I know I've done 40, 50, 60 miles an hour on my skis. I was a daredevil skier. One time I even passed Glen Pike. I was at Copper Mountain, and that must have been like 1990 or so, 89, 90 when I was there. And I would go with my Walkman on, and I have a bunch of music in my Walkman, so I'm skiing, and I was coming down this one run that was famous. It was some downhill ski run from some Olympian came down this run, and whatever. But so I'm coming down the run, and when you hit these roads, it flattens out, and you get like a jump. When you come off of the road, you get a jump. Well, I'm flying down the hill, probably doing 50 miles an hour, and I hit this boom jump, and there's a guy going, fancy all through the moguls and stuff, and I just flew over all of the moguls and landed on the other side of the moguls and kept going while the music's playing. Billy Idol, Mony Mony, Mony Mony, and I kept going, and eventually I got to the point where my body fatigued or something and caught an edge on my ski. Woo! And I wiped out. The guy went past me. And then when I got back up, and skied down the hill, went past him, and he's going like this. It was Glen Pike. He couldn't believe me that I flew over all them moguls right past him. Yeah. And but I kind of quit skiing. I broke my ankle in the parking lot at A Basin one day, and was just carrying my lift ticket, and my foot slipped on the ice. My toes caught the gravel at the edge of the ice, and then my foot folded under, and I landed with my ass on top of my ankle and did a lateral fracture of my fibula. I had 6 screws and a plate. And I kept them screws and plate in my safe. And my safe got stolen. That has really messed me up because, I didn't want anybody to say I was missing my screws, and now they're missing. But, yeah, I think the thrill of the chase is a game. We've all been playing the game. You play whether you like it or not. You play whether you're not. We're playing. His game. Yeah. See, it's his game, and it's to find his archaeology, his ancient stuff that people will strongly criticize you for, because they think it's just your imagination that's seeing that. And you got to be a brave abstract artist to see this stuff and to report this stuff. You got to be brave to face the criticism you get, from other searchers who don't believe your ass. Everybody wears helmet skiing these days. Yeah, I thought a helmet should be, a rule. It's pretty dangerous. I'd go fast, but I would ski in a way that if I wipe out, there's very little possibility of hitting a tree. I don't go fast near the trees. Oh, what I play. Don't even bring up John Owen's name, that piece of shit. He needs to be drove off of the cliff over at the Cliff House and thrown into the ocean. He's the guy that stole my safe. piece of crap. I don't like bad memories being brought back up. My brother likes to bring up stuff that needs to be buried, and I don't care for that. You know, all that does is piss me off. Bring up some asshole from the past. Love skiing through the trees. Never occurred to me. Wear a helmet. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the helmet will have goggles on it, keep your face warm and everything, you know? Yeah, I never wore a helmet. I remember one time and I went boom, face first, and had my goggles on and all, and I was completely buried in powder. It's kind of fun. You get to shake off, uh, but yeah, Forrest Fenn's poem. It's a game. He can probably end it at any time he wants because I think he's got a winner, and that would end the lunatics and stuff trying to get into his house and things like that. Um, yeah, what's going on? Mad River Glen, ski it if you can. No, I don't. I haven't skied since '97. My body's too screwed up, my bones, and I gotta have surgery on this older. Yeah. I have to read any books on horse. Well, there's a lot of, you know, it's about his archaeology and finding these his trove of ancient stuff. He loves that Egyptian stuff. What was my kings? All these three. I don't know how Moses ties in with Egypt, but the other three are Egyptian. Some of the other stuff is new. It's Atlantean. Atlantean figures that we don't have a name for yet. I can name. I should be able to allowed to name them. Like my one is probably the Clovis Queen. I found an Isis too, and Isis has got a whole bunch of people around her. It's just totally amazing that who knows. And the thing with the Denver Museum, where the pictures are at the front of the museum, if you look in his, because this one thing with the picture frames is the this this is the outline line going around it and all this, and this little coming out here. See, that's like building architecture drawn out, and here's the. So this is the Denver Museum of History, of Nature and Science, and right near is where the Egyptian stuff is. That's the. So his dad is important. His dad is on here. Father, father, father. 3 times. 3 times. 3 pictures. When he got ejected from his plane, he had to take 3 pictures. 3 pictures of his father here. So his father was important. And there is a little box like in the tree, in the bush there. Boxed area. And it looks like they added a boo face over here into the tree. Yeah, but that's where the Egyptian exhibit is. I mean, you know, it's Colorado. Usually the places have their locals, you know, but it's unusual to find. A lot of museums don't just have an Egyptian section, you know, but that one does. And there's probably some things in there that came from Forrest, maybe. And he may already have a deal with the museum for the treasure and stuff, but you're still the, he's going to turn it over. He covets things. That means he keeps it. I don't even know if W. Fensomnia. Yeah, Sean, you can go on and do show. Don't worry. I kept going even though people were pooping all over me. um, oh, Fenn plantation necessary. Flansplanation. Flansplanation. And yeah, I heard that thing about the recording Jason had, and it's like, well, that's sad that just he was recording in his pocket. That's Forrest didn't. Now you're gonna have to have a cavity search to enter. Or he probably won't even invite people if because of that. Who knows? But I've never been invited. But if I haven't already won the treasure, Forrest, you can leave me a consolation prize. The Egyptian figures would be nice. I'll give you $350 for them. Yeah, that kind of, well, man, you revealed that. I don't think Forrest is going to think too highly of that. Because he wants to trust people, and if it's hard for him to. I think Jason understands that too. Jason knows that'd probably be a deep shit for this, So it's just, I don't have a problem with you, but I think we all will suffer because of it. I don't know. If you get four kings, yeah, I told Joe Monday, if you get four, because he brought up something Yellowstone, if you can get four kings and a joker there, I might follow that. I'm not folding. I've got way too much Forrest Fenn soap opera. Yeah, that's the other thing I told Joe. Need to as the treasure turns. Yeah, there's more. Sometimes it says the stomach turns. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of expected that people are going to be people, and they're going to do things that they shouldn't have done, and say things that they shouldn't have said, and that's just what happened. I think that was that wasn't I would never demand Forrest give me an answer to anything. And it sounded like that's what was going on. Somebody was demanding and pushing, and if I was Forrest, I would say, okay, what's my throw pie back in your face statement that I would use? But he did say that the only person who was within 200 feet was a friend of his, and that friend hasn't returned to the spot. And that whole answer explanation can be a decoy itself. I can tell how long I've been on. My tea's getting cold. So that's, could be a decoy itself. He has answers that are decoys and stuff. And I'll go back to him talking about Indiana Jones. This man in New Mexico is being called the real life Indiana Jones. Oh, they're talking about Forrest. So he's been called an Indiana Jones. Marlene Dunstan. Yeah, they're teenagers, so daddy's like Indiana Jones. Be careful, Mark. Who they? What the hell is that? What conversation is this? CBS Sunday Morning, 2015. I work around old people that have, and I've learned over the years, pronounce louder than. Yeah, people that they're hard of hearing have trouble hearing my voice, I guess, because of the low sound. They easier to hear the high pitched voices, I think. Fenn is regarded as a modern day Indiana Jones. That has to be a 4/2/13. That is Loudon, London. Where do you say? Noble. Who's Noble? Or sometimes it says, like Forrest says, we have an Indiana Jones hidden inside us. So it's about exploration, finding the Temple of Doom. Schwartz. It must be Gaddy Schwartz. Now just north of 81 years old, Fenn says, there is an Indiana Jones in all of us. Is collecting something new. Alexa, where warm water is halt? Okay. Host. Link to the Facebook page by a man being described by media as a modern day Indiana Jones. He's introduced as a modern day Indiana. How would you like to be introduced? As a modern day Indiana Jones. There's another one, modern day Indiana. He's kind of guy that goes all over the world searching for treasures, which he then sells. Yeah. And apparently I watched some stuff on about ancient art and the art figures and stuff. The things that were drawn in the caves and stuff, and Forrest has right there, right here he has this Picasso stuff, and this Picasso stuff was modeled after the ancient cave art. He took the woman with the pregnant woman in the belly and the curves and they were explaining how this all came from the modern cave art, and so the modern art was actually something they copied from the past. Just like I found the Rockwells, it's like, was Rockwell here and seen that and got the idea for his drawings? See the steam on the river. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I've been looking for that where there's no ice on the creek and stuff, trying to see if but people don't understand. You begin it where warm waters halt. You end it where cold water starts. It's the opposite of the beginning. The will is in the poem before the middle and after the middle. The end of the poem mirrors the beginning of the poem in reverse. Some people can follow that. Some people aren't getting it. I'm getting confused. Stop spinning the wheel. Yeah. See, there's Picasso, and it's these figures that are modeled. He got the idea to do that from ancient cave art. That was a whole story I watched on YouTube about ancient cave art, and they were explaining how Picasso used that in his art. He used it, and they other artists use it. Oh, that's a beautiful modern piece. No, it's a copy of. And Forrest is making. So all Picasso was doing was making copies of stuff done 14 or 40,000 years ago. And Forrest wasn't doing anything different. You know, if somebody wants to, they know it's a replica or a fake. They want to pay the money for it. Let them. Go down the river to treasure hunt. Don't go down the river. I did. I brought up Randy Bill you earlier. He was out there and goes, "Oh my God, I wasn't ready for it to be this cold." You know, I can go outside and start my generator. Go outside and start my generator when it's 9 below, and you gotta get right back inside. If you stay out there 20 minutes, half an hour, you're going to be pretty near death pretty soon, you know. Randy went out there in January, this time of year, and like right now it's 12 degrees in the daytime. It was minus 10 last night. It was I posted a picture when it was minus 9.2 or something, but it got up to minus 9.8. That's minus 10, you know. There was no wind. We got a 6.2 mile an hour wind right now. I should hear the wind generator spinning, but I don't. But yeah, Randy got out and he died of exposure. He died of being. You don't come from Florida and go to the mountains in New Mexico or Colorado, northern New in the dead of winter without you know, you bring a sleeping bag rated for way below that, and you get inside that thing and keep warm if, you know, that's what you have to do, you know, because basically the fire, you'd need 4 fires and sit in the middle of them. It gets pretty freaking cold. I had an idea for a survival suit for, you know, the collapsible survival suit that you could put in an envelope and the idea was, you know, well, if somebody wants to talk to me about my inventions and stuff, I have a lot of great inventions, but I haven't invented anything since I invented a CD repair kit in the mid-90s, because when you invent something cool, good, works, the big corporations, they'll go copy exactly what you have and make. That's what happened. Dishwasher went and made a CD repair kit using the same formula I was using. The damn supplier I was getting this buying the polish from went and contacted Dishwasher and showed him, look what this guy made with our stuff, you know. And so he switched from the Northeast territory to the South or Northwest territory to the Southeast because he made $1 million a year deal with Dishwasher, you know. And if he made $1 million a year deal with Dishwasher, I could have made millions off of that thing. But these, you know, so when I have an invention, I keep it. I don't divulge the details because there's corporations and people that'll just steal it right out from under you. Pub can mean just public. I see. It means everything about public. Make sure you don't get locked out. Yeah. Yeah, right now it wouldn't be too bad. I just got a piece of plexiglass there. I got 6 screws around it with washers, so they clamping the plexiglass on there. Page 9 remnants of the past. What do you think? Page 97. All right. That I think is that's the mammoth stuff, isn't it? 94, 95, 96, 97. Yep. Yeah, it's the hint of the mammoth. I'd like to find a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. And I have found a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. So I'll probably do a little video of I'll make one on my computer, and I'll run all my little meme cartoon things that I made. So what was the one? Oh, the mammoth, yeah. Yeah, the one of the hints I kind of picked up on. Remember how I said, "Oh, and thank you, benchmark books, benchmark or maps, benchmark maps." You know, he's accentuating benchmark maps. If you do a topo map, I was an engineer for Sprint and designed microwave systems, so we had to get to do all the surveying and stuff. And a benchmark on a topo map, a benchmark is an X. An X marks a spot. But Forrest, he plays with the words. In his world, a benchmark isn't an X. A benchmark is a picnic table, a picnic bench that you find at roadside rests. Those are benchmarks. So this way he says, bring a sandwich because to sit at the picnic table, have your sandwich at the benchmark, picnic benchmark. So, and the other thing, actual benchmarks, don't think about those really as a location of the treasure. Could be nearby one maybe, but surveyors and stuff, when they're building the highways and stuff, use those benchmarks. That's where they go set up their transit, or their they put their theodolite there and sight through it and get the angles and distances, and you won't find it on a Sunday picnic. Yep. Yeah, he says bring a sandwich because you're not going to find it. You're going to need something to eat. You're going to get hungry. Yeah, I do a morning search or an afternoon search. An all-day search kills me. Just doing a half-day search, it takes me days to recover sometimes, because I'm going up a little hill or whatever. Some of it's it's not all flat land. Oh. And you tell any man, oh, you couldn't do that. What's that man going to do? He's going to go do what you said he couldn't do to prove that yes, I can do that. Even Shiloh says, yeah, he can go anywhere. He just, when I was a kid, we used to climb up in the trees. We were like monkeys, And some people are, there's no place for the meek. You got to take a little bit of risk, but no place for the meek is all about the wolf, and the Red Rider. See, I read stuff and there's just more and more. I haven't read the whole book, but the realization of what lay ahead, and as they passed their backs against the cold, unyielding rock, settled on their minds like a pull. At the far end of the room was a small corridor. He talks about the bell ringing at the end of the hallway, right? Leading they knew not where. Once they set foot in it, following the winding course into the bowels of the earth, there was no telling where they would land. Cave corridors wind in unpredictably follow a mad, patternless course, silent cross and crisscross each other until within a short space of time a wanderer is forever lost, doomed to death of slow meandering section in the suffocating, icky blackness. So, well, this is Secret of Wolf Canyon. Forrest Fenn has a secret. It's in Wolf Canyon's no place for the meek. Wolf, you know, because there's 6 people killed, and the book goes on to. Do you think cave art was related to the language? Copper. It's the end of the world. The cave art, they didn't have. It was mostly art and stuff, but they found that a lot of the figures were oriented in the patterns of the stars, and they were doing astronomy. But you can read a picture tells 1,000 words. So what do you need words for? Andrew, then why? I have found several similar stories. Well, what he was talking about there, if you read this, he was talking about going into these caves and look up the story of Dead Man's Gulch Canyon. Dead Man's Cave Gulch. And there's a treasure story, and it goes deep. A cave goes deep in the mountain. Cave goes deep in the mountain. You read about Thoth. He talks about the halls of Amente. There are places here that go into the underworld of the ancient underworld. This is the place where all that's happening. And people go, you're crazy. You're crazy. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. That's why I say the world is ignorant. I'm not crazy. The world's ignorant. Forrest knows it's there. He won't admit it's there because then that would tell you that, oh, Bill Gorman's right. He won't tell you Bill Gorman's right. The person who's right, he's not gonna acknowledge anything about them except that they're crazy. You got to be just as crazy as the guy that hit it. Rainbow Lake area. Yeah, I seen that. He had that. Yeah, Rainbow Lake. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. But Thoth and the things that things he's collected and talked about aren't. I've had too many of the things he's talked about are where I am, and I know I'm pretty sure I've already won. Spirits travel through the lakes. Except it's still, he covets that treasure and it's his until he passes away. Time is it? I'm going to have to. Researchers come to a halt on the forest. I still think communities are. Yeah. Hooley Rooms or Bill Gordon, do you have any info? Hadjowski. I'm curious about the backstory of the citizens. Popped up in mix in the late 70s. Huh. Yeah, I don't know about Hajowski. I'd have to look that up myself. But I know that Leo Salazar is the omnificent guru. He says success is an omnificent guru. What did Leo Salazar know? Leo Salazar knew where Moses received the Ten Commandments. He showed it to Forrest, and Leo Salazar died like 91, like a year or two after showing Forrest where Moses received the Ten Commandments at the blaze. The Ten Commandments were blazed by the hand of God into the hand of God cut them tablets out of the rock and gave them to Moses. I'm hunting in Australia for treasure. I wonder if Forrest left it here. There's treasure in Australia. You probably want to look up where old shipwrecks were and stuff, and maybe some of them pirates came ashore with some of it or something, and died there and left it. Heard you had some big storms there too. Those beaches, probably some coins. I was watching Survivor Man, and driftwood's on any beach. You can always find firewood on a beach. One Omega, because one of them's down, one to go. He's on his last Omega. When he's going to be 89 this year. Hey, Susie's here. Hickory Boiler? Is that Susie? She's not Hickory Boiler. She's RF Hecky. Cave art is related because it's related to Pablo Picasso and Rockwell. Because Rockwell, some of this stuff that's in Rockwell, I've seen it on the rocks. It's like, Rockwell took a vacation here and seen that and got the idea for his thing. Some of the best art maybe comes from nature. But I'm going to finish up here. Yeah. Oh, but yeah. It's I was looking at the forecast here, and where to go? Oh no! Where to go? Oh, I had the forecast on here. It's supposed to be in the 40s in a couple days, so that's a lot better than right now. It's 12 degrees. I hope I enjoy this. Yeah, this is Forrest. It's a game. We're playing a game. He started out the book with talking about poker, playing a game. He's playing a game, and the game don't end until he's finished coveting that treasure. And he's going to covet that treasure until he gets to the end of his rainbow. And then the person who was the Indiana Jones will be announced, and the treasure acquired. That person will go straight to the treasure at that point. Somebody is extremely I'm too confident. Sorry, but that's what he said. It'd be somebody that was confident. And if you see all the other people, they're not confident. Well, we don't. I don't know. I'm grabbing at straws. I don't know what. I know what. I know what this means and that means, and how do you get to here? And I haven't deciphered every word out of the book, but that's where I was going through. He said each word in the poem is important. Each word he looked up in the dictionary, and where are the hidden words? One of the hidden words is will. It's hidden in their will. He just apostrophe LL. And there's the will. There's the will. Where's the will? There's the will. Their will. Where there? Where he says there or where, those are important things. Find, look for, look, see, anything like that is what you want to see, what you want to find, what you want to look for. I'd like to find a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth, and I found the Clovis point in the ribs of the mammoth. So it's kind of hard to. Hey, Richard. Full forecast. Yeah, that says it's 8 degrees here, and it's 12. So today's high 22. Tomorrow's high 30. Friday it'd be 38, Saturday it'd be 40, and Sunday it's going to drop back to 39. And the lows are 5, 3, 10, 15. You know, if you go treasure hunting, you go, one way you keep warm in winter is wear ski clothes. Just wear, what you'd wear if you went skiing, powder pants, parka, and all that. If you ain't got powder pants, parka, warm shoes, extra dry socks, and things like that, and stay out of the Rocky Mountains in winter. Cottages and warm fireplaces. Yeah, there's some of those. You can rent. Yeah, I know about there's a lodge there with cabins, and it's like I go to cabin 4, but no, it's not in that cabin. It'd be nice to be able to afford to stay there and check it out. I think the cabins are open in the winter even, but their RV park closes. And that hat with a hole in it's a clue. There's a guy on a famous TV series that wears that hat, that the name of that hat is famous from, and it ties with the lumberjack picture. So, yeah. Well, have a mammoth year. Yeah, you could see Andrew, see Richard, see Hooley. We don't know, man. When your name's hard to pronounce, you don't know what somebody's gonna pronounce it as. I don't know. Hickory Holler. Okay. Pokemon hunt. Yeah, it's not quite. Yeah, it is a virtual, because it's a dream too. The Captain Kidd, and he it scared the hell out of him because he was on the wrong island. It should have been on Treasure Island and not Gardener's Island. Treasure Island's the one with the kid in it and all that, the 12-year-old kid in the movie. I'm done. We'll see you. I got to clear my throat.